He literally was just trying to give you your flowers and tell you you were pretty. You called that man a cockroach and said that he would never have a chance with you. And then when stuff starts to escalate, you want to run to the internet for sympathy. Huh? And then men are all of a sudden all kind of thirsty and weird. No, you are. Life just gets so much easier when you give everybody a pleasant interaction with you. That's it, that's all. Man or woman.
For some reason, a lot of people feel like being an asshole or being rude and being a troll is going to get them somewhere. Back again. Real spicy. We got another one here. And this one's about pretty privilege. And women thinking that all they got to do is look good. And they good. They're good with life. Everything else is going to fall in place. Not so fast. I think a lot of men is, nowadays they looking for a little bit more than pretty and beautiful and sexy in your appearance. So with that being said, we're gonna get right into this clip, see what you have to think about it. After the clip, I'm gonna let you know what I think about it, my reaction to it, and go from there. Let's jump right into it like that.
You're pretty girl privilege if you're not nice. All pretty girl privilege means is that you have a slightly better advantage in life because people like to look at attractive things. So yeah, you get to cut the line and be in the club section and whatever, but you get your things by being nice. For real, it doesn't matter how pretty you are if it's always followed by, but she's a... Nobody's gonna want to be around you. For example, you know that feeling when you compliment a girl, you're just like, oh my god, I love your makeup, or I love your outfit style, whatever, and she's just like, or thanks. Literally, this is the same feeling men get when you try and act like you didn't hear them. Because think about it, if that girl just would have followed the script and been like, thanks girly, like I just got my makeup done this morning, I'm going here, or thank you, I just got my outfit from someplace I don't even remember, but I appreciate the love, conversation would have ended there. Everybody would have went on about their happy day. Now we're gonna flip that girl giving you a compliment to a man giving you a compliment. He literally was just trying to give you your flowers and tell you you were pretty. You called that man a cockroach and said that he would never have a chance with you. And then when stuff starts to escalate, you want to run to the internet for sympathy. Huh? And then men are all of a sudden all kind of thirsty and weird. No, you are.
And let me just stop right there. And see, that's the point. When I hear women talk about pretty privilege and they can get whatever they want and things like that, I hear it and then I don't hear it. It's like when men approach certain women who have this perceived pretty privilege, a lot of times these women think that because they are pretty and people treat them a certain way because of their looks, that means that they can just get away with anything and they can just do anything and be however they want to be, and think that it's supposed to be acceptable. You see what I'm saying? So they think that because that's why it's called pretty privilege. You get privileges from looking a certain way. And so a lot of times women use that to their advantage, but then they take advantage of it as well. The guy approached her and she called him a cockroach because she just thinks that she can and she can get away with it. And so now you're looking at her like, wow, she's just a nasty person. Just because you're pretty doesn't mean that you have to be rude and nasty, but that's probably who you are as a person. And does your attitude and your mindset and your nastiness supersede or trump the fact that you're pretty? And in some cases it does.
Yeah, you're hitting it right now. This is a deep rabbit hole to go down because it's the backbone of how a lot of women approach life. I mean, if they have been getting the pretty privilege, and a lot of them don't even have to be necessarily pretty, above average pretty to get a certain privilege and a certain favor amongst themselves, especially if they have a personality and they know how to press buttons and how to take advantage of thirsty guys. The thing is having humility and being humble, having that self-awareness to understand, especially as you mature, you realize, you don't have to do too much. Being humble and reciprocating and positivity goes a long way. Somebody, gives you a compliment, usually you want to pass it back, or you could, at least say, I appreciate it. Show some kind of appreciation, saying thank you or whatever that might be. And so, it goes a long way. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when you have a bad attitude with good looks, it might backfire. It might even be more intense going back the other way, because that's what people, say, oh, he hating, he tripping. Well, a lot of times, they wanted to give you love and positivity, but you threw negativity back to them. So now they're going to be negative to you. So, and what she's saying is totally, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I've always said the same thing, that being positive is such a great thing, and it doesn't hurt anybody. You know what I mean? It only helps. If for some reason, a lot of people feel like being an asshole or being rude and being obnoxious, being, negative towards somebody, being a troll, is going to get them somewhere. Maybe temporarily. You might get some cool points. You might get some likes. You might get some laughs. You might get a reaction. But, over the long haul, it's not going to pay dividends. You're going to create more enemies when there was no need to have any in the first place. And so, like, for example, I don't have a lot of issues with women on the internet, on Instagram, on OnlyFans, or any of these campsites. Like, that's up to them. You know what I mean? People, I'm all about freedom. Especially a lot of these women don't even have to show their bodies like that. A lot of people talk about the sexual aspect of OnlyFans and the cam industry, but truth be told, there's a lot of women that don't even have to show anything. They're just getting by on conversation, and they know how to get money out of guys just by talking and seducing that way, or just being their friend, or showing how much they could benefit from help. You know what I mean? And so they know how to do that. They know how to press different buttons. But that being said, whatever it may be, however you're making your money, and especially if it's through guys being thirsty, right? I mean, let's be honest. Most guys that's going to be paying for these things are going to be more on the thirsty side, or they searching for something, or they may just enjoy it. But by and large, these guys are thirsty. They obviously want more of you, some kind of access to you. By you being disrespectful to your own clientele, you know what I mean? After a while, it starts to rub people the wrong way. And so, you have to respect, at least how you're making your bread, right? Like, that, I mean, obviously you see a dark side of some of this. You see some of these guys and what they're into. A lot of them are married, or they might be in a relationship as well. So you get jaded in that aspect, but there's no need to be disrespectful. That's basically what I'm saying. When you disrespect the average guy, you're gonna get a lot of that hate back. And so, it goes a long way when, especially a beautiful woman, you smile at a beautiful woman and she smiles back. Doesn't necessarily mean that you into each other, nothing like that, or it doesn't have to be sexual, just positive. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing, how you doing? And you had that type of short interaction that is more of a positive way, instead of a snapback, or some kind of sassy negative response. And so, take that what you will. It don't really bother me one way or the other, but I just feel like definitely she hit it on the head. A lot of women take that whole, because they get a lot of likes on Instagram, or they get some type of attention, that they think that they good, and they have all these options, and that, well, you might have options, but quantity doesn't equal quality. You know what I mean? And so that's why a lot of them are still single, even though they got a lot of so-called options out there. But a lot of these guys aren't the guys that they want to have. And so that's a whole different conversation. But, and by and large, like I said, a lot of the approach with how you deal with your own beauty, how you deal with your own ego, how you deal, the way you walk around, how you deal with people, is directly connected with who you have around, and your interaction with those people that you have around. The relationships that you have had that haven't worked over a periods of time, 10, 20, 30 years, chances are it's something that you got to do to fix. And only people that have humility and that are humble look within, and even though it wasn't necessarily their fault, the relationship didn't work, they still look at what they did to contribute to it not working, or what could they do to get better. So
This is how a lot of these women are able to get away with their nasty attitudes, and how they treat men is because they think that being pretty allows them to get away with it. So I think that's what she's saying. You could get a lot further.
Yeah, and I think at this point, guys are starting to understand and wake up and realize they don't got to deal with it. I know I never had to deal with bad attitude. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where if it was that situation, you just have to deal with it as it is and say, look, I'm not dealing with this. And you just got to say, hey, look, this is my standard. This is what I'm looking for. And if it's not, then we could have a different type of, interaction, or we can move forward. It's really that simple. It's just so many out here, man. There's so many women out here to get with and enjoy. There's no point in being with somebody that is being difficult, being negative, making your life otherwise unpleasant. To me, you see the ones. You ask them a question, they can't even answer it. I mean, especially if it's a reasonable question, they can't even answer it. You get into a conversation, they make everything difficult. Usually, when things click, and when it don't click, that's when we as gentlemen have to not be thirsty, and we just move to the next. And the ones that really be trying to take it, to the next level and act like you're going to get away with it, and you being disrespectful with, you try to set things up and manipulate, gaslight, and whatever that may be, y'all need to stop it. Y'all not going nowhere with that. That's done.
More than just being pretty to get what you really want. In order to get what you really want, you have to have more.
Really, at this point, to be able to get with a guy that you want, you're going to have to, change your ways on that. And like I said, understand that you got to treat people better. That's it. I know, like I said, guys like myself, we just ain't going for it. But quality guys are not going to go for it. Because not only that, you're going to represent them, as you meet different people that they know, people in their family, how you interact with their mother, father, brother, sister. You got to be respectful. And if you're not respecting the man you're supposed to love, then how is that supposed to work? And so
a lot of these women think that when they're younger, that their beauty and it's going to last and it's never going to fade, and they could just do whatever they want. And then as time goes on, as they get older, they're not getting as much attention as they once were when they were like 25.
And the thing is, what's crazy about it is that women don't realize that don't even last that long. You might got 20, 30. I mean, some truly beautiful women, they got a long time. That's me. They might age like fine wine, but
women can't even smile, or they don't even know how to talk to people in general, not just the man, but they don't even know how to talk to just people in general, hold a decent conversation without it going left or being disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? And it's an issue. And I don't know why it is, but let's continue.
You were thirsty for internet attention, and you're weird for not just accepting the compliment and moving on. All you gotta do is keep it pushing while you're saying thank you. Oh my God, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate you. If you stop there in that moment, he's gonna think that there's a chance for him to go further. So you'd be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm in a rush, but I hope you have a really good day. Thank you again. It's dead. Life is honestly just so much easier when you're nice to everybody in general for no reason. Think about it like good customer service when your food's late. You get a big tip for being nice and doing your job. You can't control how fast the kitchen makes the food, but if I'm always checking on you, maybe I offer you a free drink or whatever. It's like, hey, I'm being attentive. I'm sorry about the wait, but it's coming. But if I just ignored you the whole time and then just came back when food came out, it's like, okay, bruh, like what the... Literally, the only thing that changed is you acknowledging the person. That is the difference between a $5 tip on a $100 tab and a $100 tip on a $100 tab. That's the difference between you being pretty and getting your things and you being pretty and nobody wanting to be around you. Acknowledge people and be nice about it. Humans are literally programmed to want to help each other and give. So life just gets so much easier when you give everybody a pleasant interaction with you. That's it. That's all. Man or woman.
It does affect just the whole backbone and just the whole structure of how women think and approach. Not even just relationships, but the interaction between male and female, between themselves and men. Right away, they thinking they're the prize. They're thinking that, they're being chased, and there's a lot of room for error for them, and because of that, the guy's not setting boundaries and whether they're just there for the quick thrill or there for the long haul, they let the women get away with it without checking it, without, you know what I'm saying, hey, they're not going for it. Instead of saying something or saying nothing at all, giving someone a frown, you just give someone a smile. I remember, just pretty much all my experiences dealing with people, growing up and going through trying to meet people and trying to build a network. You know, if you're going around and you're walking around with a frown or a negative look, you don't look too inviting. You don't look like a person that you would want to be around. Just simply having a smile or just a smirk, instead of you looking, I don't even know how to look. Me, at this point, I've just had it in my mind to always have at least a smirk or a neutral look, upward neutral look, my head held high and, more my chest out and just certain posture. People want to say hello to you and they want to give you a compliment and they want to help you. Generally, you get more of a positive reaction from people. And people still, it's haters still out there. They're going to always be there. But for the most part, you do have people that, especially in this day and age, they still come up to you and want to meet with you, want to figure out how to build with you. And that's really all about just your disposition, like how you walk around and how you deal with people, and the tone that you speak with. I mean, even when you don't say things, you still have a certain energy with you. And a lot of that is unspoken. Even before you come with your energy, and that usually gives a clue as to what your intentions are. So just deeper than that, but just getting back to relationships too, and just how, because this is a relationship show, right? And I get it, right? Like I said, with all these thirsty guys and with Instagram and just the stuff going on social media, they think that they could just run with it and guys are just going to deal with it. But this is why a lot of these women say that real men don't exist, right? And I'm not sure if they can look too much further than their nose, but the kind of guys that let you get away with what you're getting away with. And obviously, hey, if this doesn't apply to you, let it fly. But for a lot of the women that I see, if you have a general thought of, okay, all men ain't shit, basically, and fuck boys, and they out here cheating and they out here doing this and that, these kind of guys usually aren't looking for you long term. They're there for the fun of it all, right? Doing it for however long they may be, and they're generally gonna let you get away with stuff because they don't care about being with you long term. But the guy that you really want, you saying you want the alpha male, you want the male that's successful, you want the man that stands on his two, you don't have to take care of. You want the man that's secure, confident in himself. He gonna have standards. That man is gonna want to do certain different things, and if you not necessarily have to get all the way on his like the program or whatever, but you're gonna have to definitely come with some sacrifices and some things that you're gonna have to do. A quality guy worth his salt, it's gonna have a program. It's gonna have things that he has in mind as far as how to run a household and how to run a life. And yeah, you might have some things and then you guys can bring that together, great. But if you don't, let a man lead, especially if he has things in mind. You know what I mean? If you do, if you got better things in mind, make that be known. The bottom line is, you want a guy that can lead, but you playing games. You with the guy that really doesn't see you for long term, and he's letting you get away with a lot of this stuff, and you're not attacking and identifying things that character flaws of yourself. And instead of dealing with those things, you're dealing with guys that don't care about you. They're gonna let you do what you do in exchange for doing whatever they can do to have fun and do it short term. And then you wonder why this guy goes from you to another chick. And, I talk about the guys as well, but everybody has to look at their role in the state of how the dating and game is going, and the affairs between men and women. You gotta look at yourself. But like I said, that being said, man, check out deedee. We ain't gonna go through a whole video, but I just kind of want to touch a little bit on that. Real reasonable takes, man. She got great content. I've definitely reacted to more than a few of her videos. If you haven't already, like I said, go and like and subscribe her stuff on her channel. But yeah, we gonna talk your ear off, man. We gonna get out of here, man. And but yeah, let me know what y'all think. Your experiences, what you think on this topic. Like, share, subscribe. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. And we out. Easy now.